you either do research and look up sources on homelessness, things like that, and class movement, or you could be an experiential learner and go to the Friends of the Homeless shelter and work for 2 hours a week.
The head librarian gives us a topic or a focus, and then our students actually plan and prepare and then implement whatever they've created to do the activities or themes.
All right, this semester for our College Ready 2 class, we are going over to West Elementary, and we're actually helping out with kindergartners and first graders, depending on what time you can go.
And we're both in Dr. Belt's physiology class, and the first assignment we had was to choose a system that we wanted to study about abuse in that system, and we chose nervous system, and then we narrowed it down to shaken baby syndrome.
For the last couple of years, my capstone business students, right before they graduate, have been coordinating the efforts of everybody else.
And so these are different scenes with different students who had put together these scenarios to describe what kinds of violence there are within relationships, and so it was a very student-driven operation.
We also had them do a number of pamphlets. They're done very well, and Harbor House is actually asked to have all of these to use for their educational purposes as well.
Last fall, the Friends of the Homeless asked us to develop a website for their organization.
At first I didn't really know what to expect with it, because I never even know where it was at. It looked like an apartment complex. I never knew it was a homeless shelter before there. It's kind of not what I expected at all.
Our next assignment was to decide whether we wanted to go to the high school and present or do a PowerPoint. And Bonnie immediately said, "Let's go to the high school. I think it'll be fun." That wasn't what I was thinking.
So they have a chance to really learn how to create plans and interactions with young children, implement them, and they follow up with reflection and evaluation, and then they continue the process over and over again.
And I have to say, I love going. It is so much fun. The kids, they were a little standoffish the first day because they didn't know who you were. But like the second and third day, when I walk into the room, you can tell once they see you, their eyes light up. And they're just like, they're here. And they just love having other people around. And they ask for help for everything. It's like, can you help me do this? Can you help me do that? And even though I only go an hour, I love going.
The ninth graders, they were very respectful. They listen.
Yeah, it's one thing to look up and research all the statistics and hard and fast numbers about homelessness, but when you really see who's homeless, and it's not the image that you have in your head, the stereotypical bearded kind of gruff-looking homeless guy. It's families and it's young people that really puts a face to what homelessness really is.
Like last semester, I was in the same class with Roman, and we did a homeless shelter and poverty and stuff. And I had noticed that right before I started doing the class, I was working a lot and didn't have a whole lot of time to spend at home. And before, we were always a really close-knit family. We did everything together. And I was kind of spending more of my free time hanging out with friends than I was at home. And then after going through because I did the research and looking up all these articles and seeing about how all this tragedy that people went through. And the one thing that they had was that they had each other. And I felt like going through all that research, seeing how even though they lost everything, they still had their family, kind of made me appreciate my family a little more. And I felt like I was like a little closer to them again at the end of the semester.
So they require either experiential learning or apprenticeships. So that's kind of what we're doing here, an alternative to an apprenticeship program. Because without service learning, we have too many students that graduate and literally say, when they're in a job interview, I went there and I took a bunch of classes. Well, what else did you do? I went there and took a bunch of classes.
I mean, I've done volunteer work, rake leaves for a dog. That's like a day. Share a Christmas tea for C, but never really a steady volunteer, and I never really knew what that felt like. And when you're at the homeless shelter, there was one day we went to the food pantry in Dover and helped there, and it opens you up to other places to volunteer. I didn't even know we had a food pantry, and now I go there whenever I can find time. It's on Thursdays and Fridays, and see if I can go there and volunteer, because the people that volunteer, you want to be around people like that more. it's like, it's just refreshing.
About a half to 2/3 of the students volunteer willingly, and they're volunteering again and again. They're at the clinic, they're at the senior center, they're choosing to participate in the New Philly schools, and we're trying to see, you know, that altruism develop in them.
And this semester is just awesome. I mean, like, I'm going for nursing, and I'm seriously thinking about doing like children's hospital, because I just love working around kids, because they're just so much fun to work with.
They thanked us, and you know, it was really a good, we felt like we really made an impression.
Like that. And yeah, it's complete. Before I was zero volunteer work. I was more about school. Even come to Kent, I was like, I just want to, you know, get in my classes, get A's if I can, get out, and then the service learning really turned me on that there's something more that you can do.
It's one of my favorite things to do for school right now. It's just going over there and helping